think I need a new daily.
Here she is, new daily. Fortunately, she's a little bit dirty, so before we talk about it, let's give her a quick bath. Well guys, here she is, my new daily driver, E63 AMG, 2010 to be specific. I'm sure you guys are wondering where the CTS-V went. I never intended for that to be my permanent daily driver. It just kind of lined up with the timing of selling my E55 AMG, that I needed something to drive daily, and the CTS-V was able to fill that void. Good buddy of mine had hit me up basically right after I bought the car and said, hey, whenever you're done with this, I want to buy it. So when I was done with it, he was kind of chomping at the bit to get it, and now it's his. I'll leave his Instagram in the description if you guys want to, kind of follow it. But great project. I'm glad a lot of you guys enjoyed that, but it's time for a new project and time to move on to other things. So this not going to be a huge project, but it is my new daily. It is a fun car, so I thought it'd be fun to document. So this is the 2010 E63 AMG, which has the legendary M156 6.2 liter hand-built, naturally aspirated AMG V8. It is arguably the best sounding Mercedes V8 ever made because of the high compression NA. My E55 I thought sounded pretty good. I'm driving it right now. Let's go to a little spot here, and I can kind of give you guys a walk around of what we're dealing with here. Boom, big body Benz. W212 chassis, ran from 2010 to I think 2016 or 2017. This is what you call the pre-facelift, which has these kind of split headlights. The 6.2 was only in this class or this chassis for 2 years, 2010 and 2011. This is a 2010, 59,000 miles. Car is super straight. I don't think there's a dent on it. I haven't really got into it with paint correction or anything yet. That's usually when you find them, but I haven't found one yet. Body's in exceptional shape, completely bone stock. This car is fully loaded with all the stuff that basically my E55 had, and then some. Big ones for me are the panoramic sunroof, which works perfectly, the multi-contour massaging and dynamic seats, heated and cooled seats, keyless go, meaning obviously push button start. This car even has a whole bunch of other crazy options, like this is the Distronic module, which is adaptive cruise control. It has lane keeping assist, all stuff that back in 2010 was kind of crazy. 18-inch wheels. There was a 19-inch wheel available for this car. This one just has the 18s, but other than that, basically a fully loaded car, probably close to $100,000 when it was new. But yeah, I love the look of this car. I always have, and I've always wanted one of the 6.3s, but I've been a little scared of them because they are known for a couple of common issues. My E55 was pretty much bulletproof, and that was my first German car, and that's kind of why, because I knew it was bulletproof. But always wanted one of these, but we'll get into some of those issues in a moment. But let's go over some of the outside cosmetic things that this thing's going to need. Getting right into it, front bumper has been repainted and was not done well. Tons of rock chips, tons of orange peel. In certain lighting over here, you can actually even see, you guys aren't gonna be able to see it in this lighting, but there's not enough color here. It doesn't match very well. Front bumper needs resprayed. Rear tires are literally showing the cords. So yeah, not great. Front tires are okay, but they're completely dry rotted, so we're gonna call those junk as well. Interior is basically perfect. Driver's seat looks amazing. Passenger seat and rear seats look like they've never even been sat in. You guys probably just heard that. It sounded like a blow-off valve. That's the rear suspension self-leveling itself. Rear air suspension in the rear. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful Mercedes. So let's get this thing back home real quick. Get this thing up on the lift, check out the underside, and I can show you the whiteboard list that I've already come up with of things that this thing's gonna need. All right, but before we head back, I think this thing has a launch mode, and I kind of want to try that out. We can't go too crazy because these tires are completely on their last leg, and I'm not really trying to put a spare on to get home, but let's see if we can't put this thing in launch mode and try it out. So this car has a whole bunch of different buttons down here on the center console. These are your suspension or driving modes: comfort, sport, sport plus, manual, and RS I think stands for race start. The AMG button I think saves basically all these settings to whatever you want, but I think we basically put it in race start, turn traction control off, and then foot on the brake and gas, and off we go. So we got a little bit of area out in Mexico here, so I'm gonna set you guys up back there. We'll give it a shot. Maybe you guys can tell me what I'm doing wrong here. Press the AMG button, traction control off, your ESC Sport does not go over into RS mode. And if you hold this, pre-safe functions currently limited, but ESC is off, still will not go over into race start mode. Well, look into that a little further. In the meantime, I guess we might as well do a burnout while traction control's off. Definitely gonna get a flat tire. Well, that's enough of that. Oh, I hope we make it home. Also, we are running on fumes right now, so let's go get some gas and I'll meet you guys back at the garage. If we make it. These tires are sticky and showing cords, and we're running on fumes. Hope we make it. Alright, I think I figured out race start. So we turn off traction control, turn this over to race start, paddle up, press gas pedal. Woo! Oh man! That is awesome. I mean, I wanted to get a video outside for you guys, but I think these tires have got nothing left. So apparently, I was looking online while we were fueling up, and apparently my car has all these pre-safe features that Mercedes has, like in the event of an accident or right before an accident, it closes all the windows, increases brake pressure, and a whole bunch of other, tightens up the seatbelt, a whole bunch of that stuff. I have to turn that off. The steering wheel has to be completely straight. You have to have driven at least like 4 or 5 miles or something like that. There obviously can't be anything in front of you, and the parking sensors or the radar. This car's got adaptive cruise control. Once all those conditions are met, then you can turn it into, race start mode. And you heard that 1-2 shift. That was violent. So that's sick. All right, let's get this thing home before we explode these tires and I end up stranded on the side of the road with a busted up fender. So we're back in the garage. Camaro is still on the lift. We're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Let's take a peek under this thing. Grab the old creeper. So most of you guys probably know Mercedes, there's really not much to see under here because there's all these plastic covers, but just wanted to take a peek. So this thing's been parked in my driveway for a week or so now. No leaks that I can tell. Everything under here is super dry, super clean. Like what I see so far. Car drives awesome. But these tires have had it. These are the fronts, which are supposedly they look decent from the outside, but they are just splitting on the inside. Look at this. Not any life left in these, despite what they look like on the outside. Always got to check the inside of your tires as well. That one's just as bad. We know the rear ones are completely down to the cords. So let's go check out the top side. So there she is. Hand-built 6.2 liter naturally aspirated AMG motor. The M156. Built by Kai Hagen Buchner. Totally butchered that, I'm sure, but Thanks for the motor, Kai. And this entire motor was built by this one guy. It's kind of a thing that AMG is known for, is that all these motors, at least back in this car in its heyday, you know, prime AMG, big V8s, this motor from start to finish was built by this guy right here. So if he was out for a day or vacation or whatever, no one else touched the motor. One guy from start to finish. So that's kind of cool. Completely hand-built aluminum AMG. I think these were like the first to ever have like piston sprayers, or like from the factory. That's like a racing feature. You know, basically you're spraying oil up on the sidewall of the cylinder to lubricate the piston rings. And I don't know, there's so much crazy technology. There's a bunch of videos you guys can watch on this motor, but this motor truly was state of the art back in the day. So pretty cool. They just don't make them like this anymore. This is the power plant here. This engine bay needs a detail, but 100% bone stock. The only thing that I'm aware of, according to the previous owner, is a pair of drop-in AFE air filters. Obviously, we just saw the exhaust is completely stock. Exterior-wise, completely stock, other than some tinted side markers, which are broken. Basically a blank canvas here. Now, you guys who are familiar with this chassis and this motor know that the M156 is known for some common failure points or weaknesses. One of which is the camshaft adjusters. Those of you that have been listening might have noticed that this thing has got a pretty severe rattle at, you know, not only cold start, but when you've not driven it, even if it's warm, for 5-10 minutes. Basically, when the oil pressure bleeds off, camshaft adjusters kind of rattle until oil pressure builds up. That's a really common issue. Another common issue is lifter buckets, sometimes premature camshaft wear. And if it's an older E63 like this one, the head bolts have kind of a known flaw issue. Not sure how big of a deal that is or not. Camshaft adjusters on this motor definitely need to be done, so we'll definitely have to address that at some point. The clacking is not there when the car is just running, but it's really pretty bad at startup, and we obviously don't really want that in a car like this. So that's going to be on the list. Speaking of lists, let's check out what we got here. So I've already made my list. You guys have been on the channel, you know I'm a big fan of putting stuff up on the whiteboard. Feels good to cross stuff off as you get it done. This car, you know, it's already my daily driver, registered, titled, insured. So it's gonna be kind of a, you know, pick at it as we go. Not really a major overhaul, but a lot of this stuff is gonna be pretty time consuming. First one, when I bought the car, blower motor didn't work. No heat, no AC. While I was trying to diagnose that, see if I needed to order a blower motor or not, I just applied voltage to the motor and it kicked right on, and it's been fine ever since. So we're gonna cross that one off the list for now. Who knows, maybe it'll come back to haunt us. Up next, immediately, wheels and tires. At least tires. These things are completely junk. Probably shouldn't even be driving on them. So I've got some tires on order. We might have something else on order as well to go along with those, but you guys will have to stay tuned for that. Bumper respray. Front bumper's already been resprayed once. Wasn't really done all that well. Needs to be done again. Chrome delete. Might see if I can paint this grille black. You know, black out some of the window trim. Probably black out the windows, which brings us to right here. Obviously going to do the Chris Sullivan window tint package, aka Ray Charles package. Where were we? Side markers, those are broken. Already have those to repair that. Cam adjusters, we just talked about that. Head bolts, you know, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Some people say you need to immediately do the updated head bolt design in these things. Just do them one at a time. Remove the old one, put the new one in, torque them. But that involves removing the cams, and it's a big project. But, you know, I'm kind of torn because you're halfway there when you're doing the cam adjusters. Let me know what you guys think. Probably could use an oil change in the next 1,000 or so miles. Other than that, the car's pretty solid as is. Obviously, we got to do some mods. Kind of alluded to this already, but I'd like to follow a similar mod path for my E55. Probably exhaust, tune, some visual mods. Just a really solid, fun, comfortable, badass looking four-door sedan. I think we can accomplish that goal, no problem. It's definitely going to take some work. The car's totally drivable as is, but if I want it to be perfect, which I do, we're going to have to put some time and effort into it. So I hope to bring you guys along for the ride. That's going to do it for this video. Already got a ton of parts on the way for this thing. Some of them are already here, and I've been struggling to keep them out of frame in this video. So probably have videos coming pretty quick on this one. More videos coming on the 69 Camaro. Same thing with the twin turbo Z06. I'm in the middle of editing some footage for that as well. So Thank you guys as always for watching. Appreciate all your comments. We'll see you in the next one.